Just take one look at Toyota's new ultra-luxurious Century SUV and you could be forgiven for thinking that Japan's #1 carmaker is trying to compete with Rolls-Royce. Because it is. The all-new Century SUV is marginally smaller than a Rolls Royce Cullinan, employs a 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid engine compared to the Rolls' 6.7-liter V12, offers almost identical levels of luxury and plushness, but will land in showrooms for less than half the Cullinan's price. That's right, the Century SUV will retail at around 25 million yen, or around $170,000 at today's exchange rate, in contrast to the Cullinan's starting price of around $390,000. Now, although Toyota will never say that their new super luxurious SUV is a direct Cullinan competitor, the Japanese brand will, for the first time, be marketing the luxury crossover outside of Japan. So, in the real world, the Century SUV will compete with the Cullinan in certain markets including the Middle East. Aesthetic impressions are subjective, of course, but dare we say it, we feel that the Century SUV is as well proportioned as the Cullinan, but its front end is sharper, better looking and less ostentatious. This is definitely a step in the right direction because the Century sedan, throughout its 55-year history and 3 generations, has changed very little in the design department, continuing to look very much like a Japanese version of a Russian Zil limousine. So hang on, what is the Century all about? Japan's ultimate limousine started life as a purely domestically sold sedan in 1967, and as a result, it is barely known outside of Japan. The new Century SUV model that joined the lineup in autumn 2023 will, according to Toyota, be simply called the Century, whereas the established 4-door model will take on the moniker of Century Sedan. That, we feel, could be confusing for the market, because most international and domestic media who covered the launch seem hellbent on calling the new model Century SUV. Since Japan's premium limousine debut, it has gone through 3 generations, starting with a 4.0-liter V8 for the first version from 1967 to 92, then introducing Japan's first ever dedicated and only 5.0-liter V12 engine from 1997 to 2017, and finally to the current V8 hybrid-powered Century sedan that was launched in 2018. How popular is the Century? Japan's movers and shakers have all, at one or another, been chauffeured around in a century. From prime ministers to captains of industry to movie and sporting stars, Japan's premier saloon has carried them all. Toyota even made a bespoke Century Royal version for the Emperor. Wanting to show that it is serious about environmental concerns, Toyota has not carried over the saloon version's V8 hybrid but instead decided to power the 2.6-ton Century SUV with a 406 HP 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid powertrain that incorporates all-wheel drive and 4-wheel steer.